All right, so we started class with a salute. This is making a fist with our right hand, so tucking the fingers in, thumb comes over the first two, palm together, fingers together in your left hand, and we salute. Thank you for joining me for class today. Okay, so as we've discussed, this is the advanced class. So with this one, we're moving through the first section of the traditional long form. So we're going to start with some kind of basic warm-ups, maybe a little bit of Qigong exercises. First and foremost, find a comfortable position with your feet. And what I mean by this, it might not be comfortable, but I want you to have a shoulder width apart stance. So if you have floorboards, look down. We want your feet nice and straight. The outside edge of your feet matches the outside edge of your shoulders. We're going to have a slight bend in our knees, letting our lower back relax, creating a level position with our hips. Let your shoulders really hang down. The fingertips might brush the sides of your thighs. And we're going to start with some neck rolls. So chin to chest, ear to shoulder, drop the head back and around, ear to the other shoulder, chin to chest. Making nice circles, smooth, even, and continuous, maybe 70%. And we're inhaling and exhaling through our nose, breathing all the way down through our belly. Let that belly expand as you inhale. Navel draws to the spine as you exhale. We'll do one more circle this way. We end by drawing our chin to our chest, and then we're going to go the other direction. Check in with your shoulders. Are they hanging down nice and low? How's your breathing? Qigong just means breath work. So we're moving energy through the body. We're connecting with our breath. We'll do one more circle. Chin comes to the chest. Now take a deep breath. Find more release through your shoulders and your neck. And then slowly lift back up. Let's move into our shoulders. So alternating or together, we're just gonna move the shoulders. If you want to make big arm movements, maybe together, feel free. It's whatever feels good, right? So you could do bigger arms, alternating. I just want you to move in a way that brings range of motion and energy flow to your body. So sometimes I like to switch it up. So I'll do a couple one way and a couple the other. And now we're going to go the other way. So again, we can continue with those big arm movements. And I want you to check in with your breathing again. Are we breathing all the way down through our center and alternate? Just getting things flowing. We'll take a couple back the other direction. Shake those shoulders down. Let them find center. Okay. We're going to work on our arm rotations a bit. So we're going to hold our arms out to the side. Okay. So we're sitting our palms up. And as we do this movement, let's talk about our hand shape real quick. So our fingers, we want nice space between the fingers, not too much, but not crumbly, just enough, like a little bit of energy flowing through our palms. So we're going to have our arms out to the side and we're going to come into that hug a tree position, right? So we're going to rotate our fingers down. We're going to come into that beautiful hug a tree shape. Then we're going to use our whole arms, rotate out to the side. Relax them down and then hugging that tree. So we're using silk reeling energy here. Nice circling. Focus in on your breath. Maybe we inhale one direction and then exhale another. Maybe we close our eyes and imagine the energy flowing out through the ends of our fingertips. Do two more. Try to find a relaxed feeling in your shoulders. Last one. We're going to rotate and then come into that hug a tree position. Take a deep breath here. Find that expansion. So we're in a large frame for Yang style Tai Chi nowadays. So feel that expansion. Little space between the joints. Space between our fingers, allowing our shoulders to open up. And we're going to go the other direction. So we're going to go down. This time our palms face up on the side. And then we press down. So feel the energy pushing towards the earth, lifting up, and then pushing down. Check in with your breath again. You feel your abdomen expand. Just like a child, their full belly expands with each breath. Do one more. On this one, as we press down, come all the way through to the hips. Let the arms hang down. Then shake them out. Yeah, they get a little tight, right? But we want to try to find that relaxed feeling. Okay. All right. So this time, we're going to bend our knees just maybe a tiny bit more, and we're going to use our torso to swing our arms so we can swing. And we're generating this movement from the ground. It's controlled by our waist and then expressed in our arms. Maybe your hand hits your back. So the right arm hits the left side. Left arm hits your right. And we're getting energy flowing through the body. Waking up the spine. If this is a lot, we can always use that hug a tree variation, and we can go from corner to corner. So this is personal preference, right? Some of us like to feel this giant ball of energy. Some want to feel the swing. I want you to do what feels good for your body. Just find that connection inward. If you're swinging, we're going to ease off. If you're circling from corner to corner, we're going to come back to center, and everyone will just let their arms hang. Good. Okay. Let's just get some energy flowing through the legs. So let's start at our lower back. We're just going to take our palms and just kind of tap on our lower back here. So you're going to turn your palms backwards, use the back of your hands tapping at your lower back. Maybe about 10 times. And then we're going to move to the outsides of the hips. Just getting energy flowing, palms or fists, your choice. Front of the thighs. And then tops of the knees. Good. Now we'll go from the tops of the legs and just brush that energy down to the floor. Do a few this direction, and then we'll go for the backs of the legs. Same way, all the way down to the ground. And then let your arms hang for just a moment. Let your torso hang forward. Feeling that lower back release. Heads relax down, pulling towards the earth. And then we'll take a nice inhale and come back up. Feel the energy flowing? All right. Yeah. Okay. So we've been working on the beginning of the form. We're going to do one of the wellness exercises or Qigong exercises that Master Yang has implemented. Once COVID started, he kind of made this group of wellness exercises that we could practice in essentially a 3-foot square space. Okay. And this is going to come into play because this is the beginning and end of all of our forms. So we start our forms in what we call prepare. This is what we started class, and it's also what we start the wellness exercises in. So our feet are shoulders width apart, outside edge of the feet to the outside edge of your shoulders. Knees are slightly bent. We're not locked. We're not too bent, right in between. Lower back or waist is relaxed. Arms to the side, head lifting up. We're gonna rotate our palms back, and we're gonna lift our arms up to shoulder height and shoulder width. Then we're gonna relax our upper arms, then our forearms, and our palms until they sit in front of our hips. So if I turn to the side, we're gonna lift all the way up, shoulder height, shoulder width, and then upper arms, forearms, and palms sit down. So we're gonna coordinate our breath. So we inhale and lift up. Exhale and lower down. Lifting on your inhale, so everyone will move at a different pace, and then exhale and press down. Now we're going to include our legs. Lifting, and now bend into your legs. When your palms are in front of your hips, you stop bending. Now we're going to lift, so push out of the ground, lift up, legs are straight when the arms are at shoulder height. And everyone I'm seeing should move in a different way. So we're just moving with our own breath. No one's breath is exactly the same. Smooth, even and continuous breath. Feeling that flow. They call this like water's wave. So it's growing and then maybe crashing on shore and pressing down. Do one more. Lower and press down. And then we'll stand up and arms return to the side. So that one's pretty easy, right? But we can kind of get that feel of the energy flowing. Okay, so this is the beginning of our form. All right, so we're going to start. And just as a quick review, we do have time. Today's movement is actually a lot easier than what we've been working on. I'm going to show you from a different direction. So when we practice, for anyone that's new, I turn and face away from you. This is because you're looking at your screen. So I want you to move in the same direction as me, if that makes sense, okay? So instead of mirroring and trying to be confused in that way, I want to move the same way. Right now, I'm just going to go 90 degrees off because I want you to see the arm movements of what we've been working on. So we've been starting in prepare. If you've been with us, feel free to practice or just watch to see what we've been doing. So we're in prepare, and then we have opening, which is what we were just working on. We lift up, and then upper arms, forearms, and palms press down. We're going to shift left so we can open our body to the right. We are reaching out, and we step, and we complete ward off left. So our left arm is up, pointed to the side, and our right hand is sitting by our hip. Now from here, we move back, turn. So both feet are to the corner for a moment. Now we're going to show grabbing like we did in the beginning. Right arm comes underneath, and we step out with the right foot. Ward off right. Okay, and this is where we left off. So we're going to work this a bunch of times, okay? I just wanted everyone who's new to see this from a different direction. And from what I just saw on the camera, you follow along great, which is very, very hard to do through Zoom, okay? So I'm going to turn the other direction, and we're going to talk about key stopping points within these movements. A lot of times I'm going to say that your arm is underneath or it's bent on the bottom, something along this line. And this means that either arm is going to be sitting in this shape, okay? So it's going to be bent, and it's either going to hinge up or it's going to hinge up and extend, okay? So this is what we've been working on, and this is that rounded feeling. Now you're going to see that we have space here, okay? So maybe if I go this direction, see how there's space? So when our arms are down, we're not very close to the body, we have space, okay? And this is just kind of what Yang style has become. It's a large form now. So all of the movements are very big. So even when our arms are close to our body, we still have space. Okay, we're not closed, we have space. All right. And a lot of during class, you're going to hear me say reaching out. Reaching out means that you're reaching out towards somebody. Yes, because we're imagining that we're grabbing an arm. So we're not learning this for a martial art, but this is still grabbing someone and we're controlling them over the arm. Okay, so we're gonna grab a wrist and control their elbow over a forearm. So you're gonna hear about reaching out with one arm underneath. Okay, good. Yes. So in Tai Chi, we never show closed hands, but the meaning is still there. But I know we're not here for a martial art. One of the things that we talk about in the principles of Tai Chi practice is connecting our mind with the movement. Now, this is how we integrate the Qigong aspect of it, the meditation aspect of it, because everything is connected. So our mind knows what our body's doing, our breath is leading the movement, and we're connecting the whole body from the ground up, okay? So we're gonna talk about martial art, even though we might not ever use it as a martial art. Okay, let's try and practice together, nice and slow, turning so that we all move together. Prepare. Feet or shoulders width apart, arms to the side, head lifting up. Opening, rotate your palms facing back, arms lift up, shoulder height and shoulder width. Then the upper arms go down, the forearms and the palms press down in front of the hips. Shift your weight to your left. This allows you to open your right foot on your heel and turn your whole body to the right by 45 degrees. As we sink down, our right arm is going to reach out and our left arm comes underneath and we step out with our left foot. So we're reaching out with our right arm. Our left palm is underneath. Now from here, we're going to press down with our right palm as we turn and open to the side. So here we're in a bow stance. So our left arm is pointed to the side. Our right hand is like it's sitting on a table and we're in a bow stance. So that means our front foot is straight and our back foot is 45 degrees off. So if I turn to the side, this is what a bow stance looks like. But we're going straight ahead. Our bodies to the say 3 o'clock. If we started at 12, this is 3. Now shift enough weight back so you can turn your whole body. Leg, waist, arm, foot, everything turns 45 degrees. We're going to show grabbing with our left arm. Our right arm comes underneath. We draw our right foot in and then step out. Now left arm pushes up, right arm hinges up. Ward off right. Now when we end, our right elbow is in line with our right knee and our left fingertips point to our right forearm center. Yes. So this is again grabbing. Yeah, that's it. So it's grabbing and we're pushing up and down. Yes. So it's this hinging movement that controls our opponent. So essentially they're coming in with a punch and you're going to grab them with your left arm and push their elbow here. So they end up like this. They're like controlled and lifted as you push up and down, okay? So that's what we're going for in both of these movements. Let's do it again. And then we'll see if we have questions. And please, if you have the question, somebody else probably does too. So from prepare, feet straight, arms to the side, head lifting up. Rotate your palms facing back. Lift the arms up, shoulder height and shoulder width. Upper arms, forearms, and palms press down in front of the hips. Shift left. Turn your whole body, leg, waist, arms, foot. Now sink into your right leg. Right arm reaches out and we step out with our left foot. Now that right arm is reaching out. If I turn, you'll see this. Right arm's reaching out. Left arm's underneath. We're facing 12 o'clock. Now turn to 3, press down and lift up. Ward off left. So 60% of our weight is forward. Right palm is sitting on the table. Left arm is extended out pointing to 3 o'clock. Shift enough weight back so that you can turn on your left heel. Foot, leg, waist, arm, whole body turns. Now we show grabbing with our left arm, our right fingers point down. We're gonna close our arms. So this means our left arm's out in front and our right arm is bent underneath. Beautiful. Now from here, think up and down. One pushing up, one pushing down. Nice. Yep, so if we move back, right arm's underneath, left arm's out in front. Come in closer. We're gonna push up and down. So come back, up and down. So we're using, the movement starts from our leg. It's controlled in our waist, expressed in our hands and fingers. So our leg stops moving when our arms reach the final point. So we're back, left arm's out in front, right arm's underneath, ward off, right. Good. Yes. That's it. Good. You're getting it. It takes a while, right? And the thing, like I was saying, is learning these first few moves is the hardest, especially that first one, ward off left, because it kind of breaks the traditional rule for a bow stance that we're leaning forward. We're actually upright and turn. So this is actually a rather difficult stance, because in this stance, we're turned and open, and it's hard to keep our leg in line here. We have a tendency to kind of let it in. You actually have to have flexibility and strength to hold it open and be upright. So these first two movements are really hard. Okay, do we have any big questions or small questions, anything at all about these movements? Yeah.
This is Anne. Can you go over what are the benefits of Qigong? Because it's not aerobic. We're not jumping around, but just refresh my memory.
Oh yeah, that's a great question, because Tai Chi and Qigong have the same benefits, right? So through Qigong is specifically breath work, and Tai Chi is breath work, but it also has a different benefit through the movements and the coordination of the body. So a lot of the things between the two overlap, okay? But the cardiovascular system really benefits through this practice, right? So when we are working with our breath, we're oxygenating the cells of the body to allow them to heal, which is pretty miraculous, okay? It actually also helps our brain heal as well, because we're getting that full amount of oxygen through the body. Through Tai Chi, we're also opening our joints, and we're allowing the blood and energy to flow more freely. Now, this is true in Qigong as well, but in Yang style, there's even more emphasis, because it's a large style of Tai Chi now. It started small, so it was like a smaller frame and then medium, and now we're in this large frame. So we get this this benefit of having more blood and energy circulate through the body, which then helps with everything else that our body does, right? So we get this purification of the body. Even the organs work better because of what we're doing on. The balance and strength and stability that comes through our practice with Tai Chi is incredible. These slow movements of us stepping from one bow stance, and you'll see this in the beginner class, to another bow stance in this slow fashion, and being able to change and step out provides so much strength in our lower body that the Chinese believe that we age because we lose this strength in our lower body. So we're kind of reversing that through Tai Chi, which is pretty amazing, which I love, because you know that test of sitting Indian style on the floor and can you get up? Well, after you practice Tai Chi for a long time, you got that, okay? So I really believe that all of these things, there's so many more. I mean, just it's endless. I could go on and on. If you want to learn more about it, the Yang family has a website. It's yangfamilytaichi.com. Pretty easy to remember. And it lists, there's articles like from doctors just going on and on about all of the incredible benefits of Tai Chi and Qigong. All right. Okay. Good question. I love it. This is like what we're here for, right? Is we're not just here to just practice for any old reason. We're here because we want the fitness, but we also want these other health benefits too. Yeah.
One last comment. Shifting the weight is like really important, and my knees are cracking as I'm doing that, and it's good. It's
Well,
good,
let's
but
talk about
shifting
that,
the weight.
okay?
Yeah,
This
sure.
is a good thing to talk about because everyone's stance is going to be different. And every day your stance is going to be different. So let's talk about what a bow stance is and then talk about how it changes every day. So we start in this parallel stance. A bow stance, I'm gonna mirror you for this aspect, okay? So I am your mirror right now. So shift your weight to your left. Now open up your right foot, look down. It should be about 45 degrees or corner direction off of your left foot. Now, when you sink your weight down, it's just enough for you, wherever that is. Every day is going to be different. Now, pick up your left foot and step it straight out and move forward. Now, can you shift back and can you pick up? Now, if it was difficult, instead of reaching and dragging, I want you to step a little bit shorter and then move your weight forward. And when we move forward, we're staying at this level, whatever that level is. So we're shifting back and we pick up. We're still at this level. When we step out, we're still at this level. Okay, so it doesn't matter like what that level is. If we're gonna have a longer stance, right? Or we're gonna have a shorter stance, it's all gonna be what is that day? Where is our stance for today? All right. And with our knees, we really want to take good care of our knees. And one of the things that Tai Chi can actually do is help repair them because we're going to strengthen all of the muscles around the knees. So a lot of the times our joints take a lot of the pressure. So I'm going to do a bow stance, which I'm going to say is to the corner direction. Okay. So that means that my back foot is going to line up with this camera. Okay. When we sink down and we step out, I want you to be very aware. Now I'm going to do this without putting weight. I want you to have this knee, this back knee in line. So do you see the difference of having it turn in and the weight is on the inside of my foot, or the weight is on the whole foot and the knee is in line with the foot direction? Okay, this is very important. And when you're doing it like this, your stance might become even shorter. Okay, this is because we're using muscles that we haven't used in a while. Okay, so just be more aware about alignment than anything else. And it's the same thing when we move forward. If I turn and face the camera this way, my knee is going to be in line this direction. It's not going to be turned into the center. It's going to be in line. So essentially, I want you to think about having both feet flat on the ground the whole time. And that's going to help with the knees. Okay? All right. So what we were working on, ward off left, ward off right, is part of a movement called grasp the bird's tail, and it includes 5 movements. That's ward off left, ward off right, roll back, press, and push. Okay? So today we're going to learn roll back. So let's just talk about our footwork first. I'm going to turn to the normal 3 o'clock direction that we would practice in. So let's have a good bow stance to start this movement. Start and prepare. Shift your weight to the right, open your left foot up, and sink into your left leg. Now step out with your right foot and move your weight forward. This is where we are with ward off right. Now for ward off left, what's going to happen is our torso is to the corner direction. So if we had that hug a tree here, our torso is to the corner, we're going to turn our torso to straight, and then we're going to shift our weight back and turn our torso back to the corner. Okay, so from ward off right, move forward, we would be in ward off right, but we're in that hug a tree right now, just so we can see where the torso and the legs are going. We're going to turn to straight. Our weight has not changed. We're still in a bow stance. From here, shift your weight back and turn your torso to the corner direction again. That's pretty easy, right? That's not bad, okay? So this is what we were talking about last week. I was like, all right, you guys made it through ward off left and right. Now roll back's going to be easy. Okay, so let's talk about the arms. So in ward off right, our right arm is in this ward off shape. Now, when we're in this ward off shape, remember our elbows pointed down, okay? So what's going to happen is from here, we're going to turn and we're going to rotate that palm until it's sitting up. Yes. So if I turn the direction that we're normally going, so we're in ward off, our torso, remember, it's to the corner direction. Our torso turns as our arm turns, and our right palm then sits up to the other corner direction. Perfect. Now from here, it's pretty easy. You just move back your weight, and your arm goes down a little bit. Good. Okay, so from ward off right. Good, torso's open. Turn your torso to square. Right arm rotates till it sits up. And then turning back to the corner, weight moves back, and the arm goes down. Not bad, right? Okay. The left arm. The left arm is showing grabbing. So I'm going to turn this way first so you can see. It's sitting up and it's actually going to rotate. Okay. So it's facing down and then it's going to rotate up. This is the main movement I want you to see. Okay. Because once it rotates up, it's going to move up slightly like this. Remember, up and down. Everything's a lot of up and down. So without, say if I was just doing this, I wouldn't be able to control my opponent. Same thing if I was just pressing down this way, but if I do both together, this is how we gain control. Okay, so when we do this, I'm going to face the camera. We're going to turn and rotate. So remember, we're going from corner and we're rotating to square, and then we're pulling back. Okay, so this, it's not a lot of movement, right? So it's just going from sitting to rotating, and then it's kind of following and lifting slightly at the end, okay? And we'll talk about that as we put it together. So from ward off right, I'm gonna get close to the camera.
You look like a mime when you're doing your exercise.
Sometimes, yes, right? Because it's just the way kind of touching. All right, so ward off right. So remember, we're open to the corner here, right? So when I look at you, I have to turn back, but I want you to see we're to the corner. We're in ward off right. So our left palm is facing down. Our right arm is in ward off. Both arms rotate together. The torso rotates, the arms rotate, and we get to corner direction. So if I drop my right arm, see my left arm? It's facing, palm facing up. And then our right palm is sitting. Good, and it's to corner. So if we look this way, our left fingertips point towards our right forearm. Now from here is the easy part. Our torso turns as we shift back, and one arm goes up a little bit, the other goes down. Roll back. Not too bad, right? Okay, let's do it again. We're going to do it a bunch, okay? So ward off right. Left palm is sitting down. Right arm is bent, elbow in line with your knee. Come back, you can see. Okay, so torso turns, arms turn and rotate. Arms are to the corner, torso straight. We're looking towards our right palm. We're going to shift our weight back, turn our torso, and our arms go to the other corner. Roll back. Okay, let me show you looking at the camera, okay? So I'm square. So ward off right. See how my shoulders are to the corner? They're not straight. I want you to see for one moment. So just watch. Ward off right. Roll back. Rotating. Torsos to the camera. Arms are to the corner. I'm looking towards the corner. Shift back. And the arms come to the other corner. Yes. Good. Okay. So one more time, just so you can see. So we're at ward off right. We're in this torsos to the corner. We're looking straight. Our arms rotate, our torso rotates, and we're looking to the corner. Now we shift back, and our arms go to the other corner as we turn. Roll back. Yes. Nice palm shapes too. How do we feel about roll back? Any questions? It's kind of iffy.
More practice.
More practice.
Yeah.
That's the key to Tai Chi. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. More practice is key. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, so I'm going to move back just a little bit so you can see my legs. Okay, so from ward off right, remember, sink into your left leg first and then step out with your right. So we have a nice starting bow stance that's appropriate for our bodies. Ward off right. So our torso is to the corner. Our arm is bent, elbow and knee is in line, remember, okay? So we kind of don't want to be to the side. This is why I make note of it, okay? We're looking straight. Now turn your torso, your arms, and your head. So we're at the corner direction. Right palm sitting up, left arm is in that ward off shape, right? That we just had. Opposite arm. We're looking and our torso is straight to 3 o'clock. Now shift your weight back, turn your waist, the arms follow, and we go to the other corner, and we're slightly down from where we started. Roll back. So again, what is the meaning? We're controlling someone. We've got their wrist, okay? We've got their elbow. We're pushing up and down, but we're also pushing them down, like we could bring them down to the ground. Down, because right, we're starting from high and we're going a little low. And it's this waist turning that gives us that power. So Tai Chi, it trains our whole body, right? So we're never just using one thing. I think that the only time, and even still, when you really dive deep into it, is the opening, okay? But even still, it's like feel the energy pulling out of the ground and the arms are lifting up, okay? And it's like swelling through the body and then pressing down. Even though we're not seeing like waist movement, there's still movement in our center body, okay? So this is the perfect example. I'm going to turn this direction so you can see it again. See how I'm to the corner? We turn and we go to straight and the other corner. And then we shift back and turn. And this is roll back. So we're to the corner. Everything's to the corner, but our legs and everything's straight. Yes. Any questions? Okay, let's just keep practicing, okay? So ward off right to roll back. So nice bow stance. Natural, good for you, remember? Shift forward. Right arm's bent. It's almost kind of 90 degrees. Elbows in line. And your left fingertips point to your right forearm center. Ward off right. Turn your torso to straight. Your arms 45 degrees off of that to the corner direction. Right palm sits up. Left palm is facing the sky. Shift back. Turn and rotate to the other corner. Roll back. Okay, let's do it again. Shift forward. Right arm's bent. Left palm, fingertips point to the forearm center. The fingertips are about a fifth distance from your forearm. Rotate both arms and your torso. Arms are to the corner, torso straight. Arms go down just a little bit, pressing up and down, roll back. How do we do? Yes. See? I love when you can practice on your own. It looks good. Yes. So remember, when we're doing roll back, left palm faces up. Okay. So it goes from here, from ward off right, and we turn and they kind of switch and then they just move. Okay. So it's this up and down here that's going to get us. So we go from ward off right. They both rotate and then turn. Yes.
I have a question. Do you eventually get rid of the stiffness in your muscles if you're stiff?
Yes. Yes. So this is something about Yang style, which is very interesting. Okay. Especially when you're learning, you guys are learning traditional Yang style from Grandmaster Yang Jun. Okay. He's the 6th generation descendant that I've trained under directly from China. Okay. And when you first see his form and when you first practice your form or you see my form, it might seem stiff. Okay. That stiffness is because we're opening our bodies in new ways. Okay. So what I want you to try to find is like a little bit of relax. Now, relaxed does not mean we're sitting on our sofa and we're kind of like slobbed out watching TV shows, right? Relaxed is like this open feeling in the joints, but a lot of that comes from our shoulders. Okay. So we hold a lot of tension in our shoulders and our lower back. So when we're doing these movements, that stiffness can come from having our elbows up, and we're going to feel a lot of tension up here. Or if we're doing a bow stance and we're kind of like tilting our hips out and like have a duck butt, for lack of better description, okay, it's going to cause tension. But I want you to think like if you're feeling any tension, shoulders and elbows down. Okay, so even if we're extended out, like there's a weight pulling on your shoulders, no matter which direction they are. Okay, shoulders and then elbows are pulled down by a string with some sort of like dumbbell or whatever, right? But just that feeling of having them down will help release that tension, and then you'll feel more and more relaxed. Does that help?
Yeah, I mean, I know I have a lot of tension. I've had it for a while, but outside of Tai Chi, which to me is rather slow, but if that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do. I found a lot of the other American exercises are very bouncy, and then I end up getting body aches. So yeah, I do notice there is a little bit of difference. It's hard, but yes.
Tai Chi is very slow, and it's very slow, especially when you're learning in the beginning, because I could blow through these movements really quickly, but then most people would get frustrated with not being able to follow the movements because there's so much going on with the body, and we don't have a lot of bounce within this movement. So the relaxed feeling comes from just kind of trying to release the body. And then the one exercise, that's what I was just going to say, there's a Qigong exercise that we can do to kind of release tension in the body. So from that prepare stance, we can just kind of bounce. And this bounce is like a bouncing of the shoulders and the whole body. And it's just a small bounce, but if you focus and maybe you close your eyes, you do like a short breath too, you can find a relief within your whole body, and it kind of gets everything flowing all the way out to the fingertips.
Now I know that everybody is different, but approximately how long would it take to shake all the stiffness or beginning to start feeling a little more comfortable, I guess, or more relaxed?
So that depends on your practice. Okay. So if you can practice every day, that's the key. And one of the things that I talk about, especially in the beginners class, is when we're in our daily life, just having the ability to get into this prepare. Okay. So a lot of the times when we're doing, say, daily activities, maybe washing the dishes, maybe talking to someone on the phone, standing in line at the grocery store or something along that lines, like when you have a cart in your hand or you're just waiting, carrying stuff, like say you're carrying something, your shoulders are probably up to your ears. So maybe use a basket or a cart, and then getting into this prepare. So this prepare movement is actually helps heal our body because we're focused and our feet are nice and straight in proper alignment. We have our knees in line with our toes. We have a nice little bit of relax in our lower back. So we're not locked out and kind of pinching that lower back. We're trying to level our hips, and then we keep our shoulders and elbows down. The fingers are pulling through the fingertips all the way down to the ground. Head slightly lifting up. We're not like tension lifting, but just gently lifting. And practicing that throughout your entire day will actually help, but it does take time. Tai Chi takes time, but it changes every aspect of your life and how you feel in your day-to-day activity.
Okay, one last question. How about back injuries or any kind of injuries? Does it help with that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And if you want to talk more about that, I'll dump my personal email here in the chat real quick. And then I can kind of send you some links and exercises as well. If anyone wants to email me, feel free. But the back, a lot of the times we have compression through our vertebrae, and then the vertebrae end up rubbing on each other, right? So we're losing those gaps between our spine, and this is natural as we age, and this happens through gravity in just daily life. But through Tai Chi, we're lifting through the crown of the head, and we're kind of trying to bring that space back throughout the spine. And these movements, when we're turning the torso, gets the joints flowing and moving even better. So it will definitely help with that.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Good question. Anyone else? Okay, we're going to close class with one more practice. Prepare, opening, ward off left and right, and roll back, okay? So from prepare, feet shoulders width, relaxing our lower back, head lifting up, shoulders down. Rotate the palms, lifting up, shoulder height and shoulder width. Upper arms, forearms, palms, press down in front of the hips. Shift left, open the body and foot to the right. Reach out with the right arm, step out with your left foot. Opening to 3 o'clock, left arm points to 3 o'clock, right hand's by your hip. We're in a bow stance, ward off left. Shift enough weight back so you can turn leg, waist, arm, and foot 45 degrees. Show grabbing. Right arm comes underneath as we step out, pushing one up, one down, ward off right. Torso rotates, arms go to the corner. Shifting back, arms go down slightly, push up and down, roll back. Okay. All right. Great work today, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Always a pleasure having you in class.
Thank you.
When's the next class?
Okay, so our next class is on Friday. So we have 2 advanced classes. They are